Welcome back to eThekwini. We are here in Durban as we're broadcasting from a student conference that is basically being organized by the city or the municipality to bring a lot of the children together to see some of the innovative solutions that they have come up with in order to try and find a solution to the water crisis that not only plagues South Africa, but certainly something that is plaguing the world at the moment. But it's amazing in the backdrop of where we are broadcasting from, the amount of issues that the residents in this particular city are having. You read stories of people in different areas around KwaZulu-Natal that elderly have to buy water. They haven't had water for a year. We had promises that things are going to be fixed and that there will be water supply that will be rectified. And yet we still stand here in this month where people do not have access to water, and this is a major problem. But what is going on? Why is it so hard to fix the situation? What is being done with it? Well, you heard the mayor in the previous hour speaking about a lot of investment that's being done into the infrastructure to try and rectify it, particularly what's going around in the cities. But to talk more about this, and somebody who really does have an eye on exactly what is going on with an engineering mind to go with it, it's a pleasure to have Ednick Msweli. He's the Water and Sanitation Head of the eThekwini Municipality. Ednick, I'm glad we've got you, and thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you, and greetings to you and greetings to the viewers at home.
Ednick, you know, it's very hard to ignore the amount of stories that are online and people talking about the problems that they've got with water in this area, that for a year, if not more, they haven't had water. Some get it, then it's gone. Then, you know, this is a story that's been plaguing this particular province for a very long time. What is going on? What is causing the problems?
For starters, I want to start with the end and say the worst is behind us. Indeed, we've been through some challenging times. You know, whenever it rains now and I'm at home, I always wonder what I'm going to see in the morning, because often after these floods that we've damaged in April last year, we had another one now in January. The worst affected infrastructure has been the water and sanitation infrastructure. We have damages on roads, but it's true, people can live a day or two without a road. But water and sanitation is a lifeblood. So we've had those challenges. Our infrastructure has been damaged. Unfortunately, sometimes there are processes when you engage service providers to fix the infrastructure. You've got to go through your procurement processes. So we've gone through all of that. We've fixed most of it, but obviously there's still more that we need to fix. So it's been climate change. I always say it hasn't been very kind to us. And unfortunately, we've had the brunt of that. But we are dealing with it, and I think we've recovered. There are some areas, few areas where water supply hasn't been restored, but in the majority of areas, supply is restored. Yeah.
So I suppose when one has to ask the question, I mean, when you wake up in the morning and you've got no water and you hear that the worst is behind us and yet you're still living in it, it doesn't offer much comfort to the members in this community. And they feel very let down by the local municipality and by government in terms of finding solutions and lasting solutions and looking after the infrastructure, because at the heart of it, I think that's where the problem lies. But in terms of timeframes, let's perhaps give timeframes of when we can start seeing, because a lot of promises have been made, but unfortunately those timeframes have come and gone and we're still here. Where are we at? You say the worst is behind us. When will this be fixed?
Our biggest problems have been in the northern areas, and I think those are the prime areas in Durban, the Mhlangas and that side of it. Most of the zones, supply zones, they are restored in Mhlanga. Most of Mhlanga's got water now. I think it's small pockets to be high-lying areas, because how water gravitates, so it will go to the bottom areas first. So Mhlanga is recovered. Phoenix is still on intermittent supply, and I'm sure you'll recall we had big problems in Phoenix, but we've recovered most of it. But obviously, again, you've got pockets. There's an area called Phoenix 2, it's a reservoir zone, for example. In that zone, we are struggling to recover it because people have constructed these JoJo tanks. We call them JoJo tanks or static tanks. When you do that, and I'm told 80% of the properties there have these static tanks, which means that the water that should be going to people is actually filling up the static tanks. So we needed cooperation of the residents there, and that cooperation has not been too good. So hence, it's taking longer for us to recover those areas. But most of the areas that are in the beginning of the northern aqueduct, the northern aqueduct is a pipeline that supplies the north. So those that are towards the beginning from Umgeni Water, from Durban Heights Waterworks, are recovered. It's those that are at the end of this 35-kilometer pipeline that will still struggle. Areas like Verulam, they are right at the end, Trennan's Park, those areas continue to struggle, and they'll take a bit longer just because they are furthest from the source. Yes.
And how is it possible that areas have not had water for going on for a year? I'm talking about one of our cameramen was talking about his family that live in Ematekwa under Inanda. For over a year, they haven't had a drop of water. How is this possible?
I think the elephant in the room is also availability of raw water. And I'm again happy that in January, our council approved the Umkhomase Dam, because our problems will really end on the day we have the Umkhomase Dam. Okay, they've approved and supported that project, so now the National Department of Water and Sanitation can get going with that project, because they are going to implement it. We as the users needed to approve it, so we've done that. Obviously, that project needs about 8 years to implement, so we still have 8 years from now before we have sufficient security of supply to not have any problem of water in the city. But obviously, we can't wait for 8 years, so we're starting to look at other options. We are now looking seriously at desalination, for example. But even those timelines, you're talking 2 years, 3 years, they're not also quick. So, yes, so what the quickest solution right now that we have would be to save on the water losses. So that's what we are now working aggressively towards. Reducing the water losses, then that water can be redirected to the people.
This entails an entire broadcast, unfortunately, but I've got these beautiful young learners that are behind us that are hoping that they have a solution. Because in fact, you talk about desalination, and from previous times at this exact conference we're broadcasting from, there were a group of students that came up with an idea for desalination that was implemented by the city.
Yes, so we come here and we listen to them.
Good.
We're not doing lip service when we have these conferences, and we are very excited about having another opportunity to do that, to listen to. We always say these are young minds. They don't think of constraints.
No.
They think of a solution. They think it can be done.
Well, let's see what Siyabonga SS has for us here. And it's lovely to see all of them gathered here today to talk to us about what it is that they have come up with and their innovative ideas. So who have I got with me today? So I know that one of the students is going to talk to us about this. Amayoli, welcome. It's so nice to have you. And of course, we've got Wanda Radebe, who is their educator, as well as the other students that have worked on this. So I want you to explain how this works. So talk to me, what is it that you've come up with and how exactly it works? Perhaps you can show us.
First of all, greetings everyone. My name is Amayoli Tentu and I'm working with Alwande Mzobe, Sisanda Hlochana, Sipokazi Mabaso and Sehadebe. We are here because we've been invited by eThekwini Municipality to find ways of how we can save water. So we've come with the invention that is going to beat the shortage of water, which is caused by an increasing population in South Africa. That leads to people using dirty water from dams that have viruses and all kinds of stuff. So we've come with the invention to help us to save water. So this container here represents the river. We're going to use a water pump which is going to pump the dirty water to the filter. That filter involves types of rocks which are pebbles, sand, and filter paper and wool. The water, we're gonna pour dirty water here. The dirtiness is the rocks will hold the dirtiness of the water, and then the dirtiness will hold the filter will hold the dirtiness of the water, and then the water will come clean here and will be stored in tanks, and then will be used in home like drinking, cleaning, and all kind of stuff. And then that dirty water that we have used, it come back all over again to the rivers and do all this process again. They use the purpose of this invention is to save water that we use in recyclable water. It's recyclable. We do it all over and over again, so there's no waste of water here.
This is fantastic, a wonderful solution for communities. You must be very proud.
I'm very proud. Yes, yes.
One hopes we can see this in communities.
Yes. And we are no fiscal. This innovation can help us because sometimes we work even half day because of there's no water. If there's no water, the kids they can't learn because the school can be filthy. That is.
And that's the real problems that we have here. And thank you and good luck. Good luck. I hope that this is a good one and it's a fantastic. Well done to all of you at Siyabonga Secondary School. So these are the problems, and this is hopefully a solution. I mean, you even hear the school has to close and have a half day because there's no water. I mean, this is a big, big problem. So let's hope there's some solutions we can use here.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking
I'm very
to
glad
us.
that they appreciate and understand the challenges, and they're already offering some solutions. Thank you.
Ethnic, thank you very, very much. So, of course, Ethnic Msweli is the Water and Sanitation Head at eThekwini Municipality. We need to take a break here on the program, and we say goodbye to you from here, where it's filling up, lots of excitement in this room, and I'm sure there's so many other wonderful inventions. I'm going to take a walk around and have a look at them as well, but I hope you've enjoyed it. In and amongst the challenges, there are solutions, and they lie in the youth.